this seat taken?
Brian's seat? Yeah. Yeah, welcome back.
Hey everyone, welcome to Threshold. Let's go around and meet the players.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I play Val, level 7 elf wizard. I don't know. Am I the 13th anymore? Who knows? We'll find out.
Hi, I'm Brian. I play Jamie Something, a level 7 warlock. First of the name Jamie Something.
Something first of his name.
Yes. I sit here now.
Hi, I'm Josh. I play Rasper Hawkborn, Master of Shovels, He-Man, Warrior, etc.
I'm Casey. I play Clarion Johns, level 7 human bard.
Hi, my name is Pamela. I play Christine Nostromo, a human fighter, and the Lady of the Night Tower and all the other titles.
Mother of Dragons.
Mother of Dragons, yes. I am Khaleesi, Mother of Dragons.
All right.
Freer of slaves and burner of cities. Okay.
We're going to start. If you guys remember last time, you had just finished fighting the big, powerful, armored Jamie's Anger Incarnate with the Zappy
The
laser.
Kamehameha armor?
Yes.
And you guys made plans with Darius to leave the next morning. Your horses are already ready. So the sun rises, and I don't know how. I guess a servant wakes you up, is how it works in a medieval world.
Isn't the crow like...
Well, like a cock would technically
cock-a-doodle-doo?
crow, but like other people are still asleep. You guys are like getting up just before dawn. So I guess a servant wakes you up and he says, "Cock-a-doodle-doo."
Servant wakes you up.
Oh Bell is awake. Bell and Darius are awake. The horses are saddled and they're ready to go.
I fixed the table and did a lot of research.
Okay, you fixed that. You want to describe fixing the table?
I guess. I was just going to use the mending cantrip and, you pull out my 2 lodestones and kind of just smooth the table back together. And it looks a little like somebody kind of pushed 2 pieces of clay into each other. But the table's whole-ish.
Great.
And then I look up at the ceiling and the hole in the ceiling and I go, huh. And then I leave.
Jamie, a servant wakes you up. He says, "My lord, it's time for your wake up."
I reach over and I touch him on the nose.
He blinks and reacts and he says, "No, come on, it's time. I'm under strict
9 more
orders.
minutes.
I'm under strict orders, Mr. Something."
9 more minutes.
No. Now is no time for snoozing.
Fine. I get up and I get all my things on. I take a little time though because I'm just waking up. I get down there. I'm gonna say I'm at least 5 to 10 minutes late.
Darius is there. He is tapping his foot impatiently and he says, "Jamie, you're exactly 5.5 minutes late."
He's not wrong.
You seem surprised.
The horses are ready. It's time to go.
Wonderful.
And he gets on his horse. Sweet Spice?
Yummy Spice.
Yummy
right.
Spice.
Yummy
Spice, Dauntless. And
Twisty Bread.
And Twisty. Okay, I was pretty sure it was Twisty Bread. Yummy Spice, Dauntless, and Twisty Bread. You guys set off. You start riding. The gates open for you as you leave. Darius looks to you guys and he says, "We'll take the Nexus again. We'll just ride the horses through the Chroma Rocks. It should take us about a day to get there, but then pretty much we'll be at Espervald the following day."
You have a gate in your workshop?
I have a gate by my workshop. Yes, it's
okay.
a little bit south in the mountains of Espervald. It's very dangerous to have a gate in a civilization.
Yeah, I was going to say. I guess that's why you chose Espervald, because it's close to the gate?
Yes, it had a working gate, and it had a population that was interested in my elvenness, which makes my work easier.
It's true. He's a damn near celebrity.
Well,
all right.
Yes, we can call it that. And you guys ride for a day. You can kind of see some storm clouds, or kind of the storm clouds, I guess, are moving out because they were in for the Jamie fight. At least I thought they were. They were in my head.
Sure. Yeah.
And you guys get to the Cromer Rocks, and the portal is still open. And he says, "Are you ready?" He gets off his horse and he says, "It's best to lead horses through because otherwise you'll probably fall off from the forces."
Yep, or be turned into a centaur.
Yes.
Is it still a centaur if it's the other way around?
I don't know. He's
I think it's just a terrifying horseman.
Okay.
In that case.
Right.
That's a guy with a horse head.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay.
So you now I can't get that image out of my head. You guys walk your horses through, and again, it's that familiar feeling of like you're being like pulled over. But now that you've done it a couple of times, the gates are certainly easier than being shifted. The horses kind of are a little bit weary, and they kind of
Dauntless. Not Dauntless.
Have Dauntless make a give me a wisdom.
Roll a daunt check.
Give me a wisdom check.
On Dauntless?
Yeah.
What's Dauntless's wisdom?
He is a +1.
+1 mod.
Oh,
Yeah,
a wise horse.
He's an animal.
Natural 20 on Dauntless.
Seriously?
Yeah.
All right. Dauntless is unfazed.
He's undaunted.
Yeah, he's Dauntless.
Seriously? All right.
Damn.
So yeah, Dauntless is unfazed by planar travel, and I'm firing the cannon on that too.
All right.
You guys mount back up and you ride for a bit.
I'm gonna pull my transmuter stone off of the portal and
Great.
put it in a pocket.
The portal
because
closes down.
oh, I missed this thing.
Oh, that was good. Got it back.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Hope we can get back to Merrington. We'll have to use a different Philosopher's Stone.
Well, I have this one still.
Yeah.
I can put it back in if we want to go back.
Okay.
You guys continue to ride through the tunnels. Darius is just quiet and leading the way. It's actually you're going further in, away from the light of the homeland. And it's crazy to think about. You guys just went from Merrington to the homeland. You're like sharing Merrington homeland, and now you're going up to Espervald. You ride for a little ways. You turn a couple of corners. Darius arrives at the portal. He takes out like a metal rod, a tuning fork from his one of his pockets, and he hits it on the side of a gate, and the resonance causes a crystal in one of the things to vibrate, and the portal opens. And
Well, this one's still working.
and he puts it away, and he says, "Excellent. All right, go ahead and go through, and I'll follow."
Okay. And we go.
He like,
I'm gonna
He, like,
shuffle.
looks
I'm
you-
gonna shuffle in with Dauntless.
okay, you shuffle in. Dauntless is again unfazed. You are tossed about.
What is that horse? And then I follow him through.
Twisty Bread is a little unnerved.
Oh, I know.
And then Darius follows through after you guys. The portal on the other side. Jamie, you you don't recognize it yet. You're like in some mountains. This portal is built into the side of some mountains. It looks like it's not necessarily elven make. It looks like it was maybe made after, like by either humans who are working with the elves, or maybe even by Darius or an ancestor
So
himself.
it's like a facsimile of like elven
Yeah,
make? It's like
but it's in much better condition because it's been made more recently.
Oh, interesting.
And after he comes through, the gate closes pretty quickly after him, and he puts his tuning fork away, not having to open it again. And he mounts back up, and he says, "All right, we're just a few minutes away now."
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, close. Okay.
Yeah.
One of you who knows things about this place, lead on.
Yes, I'll lead. He gets back on his horse, and he's riding. Yeah, you can see he takes a moment, and you guys probably do this as well, to pull out heavier winter coats, because a light snow flurry is starting to come down as you're farther north.
This is a new sensation to Jamie for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's gonna go, whoa, and then put on like he may not be well prepared for this because he doesn't really own a heavier winter coat. So he might be a little cold until he gets back to his house.
Okay. Darius doesn't take any note and is totally your cold is inconsequential to Darius. And he leads you guys out through a little bit of some winding through the mountains. Go ahead.
Oh no.
It sounded
I'm
like you were gonna say
just
something.
trying to. Yeah, I think I'm still wearing 2 coats. So
you just have 2 coats. You're trying to decide which coat you're
yeah,
wearing.
like. Yeah, I was trying to decide if I left one behind or not, but maybe I just pull out with the one I wasn't wearing, and I'm wearing 2 coats again now.
You're wearing your 2 coats.
Yeah.
And you have you guys have the staff with you.
Yes, I brought that with me, of course.
Anything else you guys brought with you that I should? Did you leave anything with the other members? Which is a great
No.
immovable rods or anything.
No, we have all those.
No, I think I still have all of them.
Okay, great. Just checking.
Yeah.
So I should make a card that says immovable rod on it.
So that we can just hand
Yeah,
around.
so you
That would
I
be
have
great.
the pendant one around here somewhere.
Yeah, it's over there.
Yeah, I should make one for the immovable rod and for the bone
And-
bracelets and stuff too.
Yeah, and the vial, ever smoking vial.
That's right, I forgot about that one. So you guys are wearing your coats. Jamie, after you guys go a little bit through some of these winding, it's like a little path to keep it hidden. You recognize that it's the mountain pass on the way to Espervald.
Oh.
That you're actually really close. You're just a little bit south of town. You guys clop up a little bit, and you come to the bridge because the town is built across a river. And there's a small bridge with a little sign on it in common. It says "Welcome to Espervald." And Darius, you can see he puts his hood up, and he says, "All right, we'll head to the workshop."
Okay.
Might as well.
And he rides across the bridge.
Welcome home.
Yay.
So 2 shots was not available to take you guys up. Instead, you hired a different merchant vessel who was already heading up that way. The journey up to Olengrad was pretty regular. You again, like you remember, you dock down at the docks and then you hitch a ride on the sledges pulled by horned beasts. You notice that the tone of the city is a little bit different last time. Where last time perhaps it was like a little bit more hopeful, getting ready for the Battle of Bumford Pass. Now there's a little bit more, I guess maybe urgency is the right word, and there's maybe a little bit more solemnness. You notice that there's a lot more people acting sort of religiously or wearing good luck charms or symbols of good deities displayed. And particularly of heroes, because there's been rumors of devils amassing or getting ready to amass outside their city walls. So people are a little bit hesitant, or they're a little anxious overall. You guys take your horned beasts. Let's see, Gregory's with you.
Yes.
So he kind of looks at you guys and he says, "Is there anything?" Yeah, he's been kind of cold and distant. The further north you guys, just kind of in general, he's kind of kept to himself. And he looks to you guys as you get off the boat and he says, "Well, is there anything that you need to do in the city?"
Not that I can think of.
Okay, then I guess we better head up. We better head up to the top. And Chris and you guys better meet with my father.
Yeah.
So you get on board. You get on board the horned beasts, and they take you on up through the city. Meanwhile, as you guys get up to the top, a light snow starts to fall. We're getting closer to winter than I guess a year and a half ago that you guys were here, so it's significantly colder than you remember, but you have warm coats.
Furs and...
Yeah, poofy gloves. All right, you guys arrive at the palace. You pass the rote cloister, of course. You pass the rote cloister and you head over to the coin halt, and you're taken in. There's some gentlemen there to escort you inside. They're like more wartime guards, so they're bigger. Very clearly, they have the Nostromo banner being displayed on their heavy armor, and they march you inside. They take you again inside to the same meeting room, the same waiting room where you met Open the first time. And Gregor says, "Okay, I guess we'll just have a seat." And he sits down.
I go over and I sit next to him.
Okay. He kind of he acknowledges that you've sat next to him, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, Rasper sits down.
I think Clarion's standing, just comfortably.
A little while passes, maybe 10 minutes. Are you gonna try to talk to Gregory?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Gregory, how bad is it?
How bad is
The fighting.
we've been pushed. The dwarves have been pushed all the way back, pretty much to Eisenschmied. So pretty much to the same situation that you were last time. Only this time we're not in as good of a position to fight them. We made some good progress, but there was unfortunately a secret tunnel that we didn't know about. So they were able to bypass much of our front line and come behind us, which was pretty devastating to our cause overall. However, we're also going to be probably under some heavy attack from these blissed out devils that are nearby. They haven't landed yet, but some of them are starting to land. Our wizards tell us that because of the way that planar travel is, time isn't necessarily constant. So while they might be triggering their teleportations by seconds, and it may be differentiate for us by a few days or so.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting to see them outside. Every so often we'll see a few devils come to the city, and we're not sure if they're spies or if they're defectors or what. There's a devil here in the city who is taken up at one of our nicer inns. He's been hanging out there. He's some kind of a diplomat of sorts, but he hasn't met with any of us here. We think he's a pretty high lieutenant in whatever army this is.
Did you get his name?
I don't, unfortunately. We've just had reports that he landed here in the city, or he landed outside the city, and he made his way in. He has a lot of gold to spend. Has been spending it pretty freely. But what exactly his purpose is or who he's here to negotiate, we're not sure.
Okay.
But honestly, it makes me kind of nervous. And as he's talking, the doors open kind of slowly, and the very normally jovial Ulfin is he kind of has like a sterner look to him. He looks a little bit angrier, and he walks inside the room and he says, "So, you finally made it back. I don't think that I've seen you in probably at least 6 months.
Yes, sir.
That's all you have to say?" "Yes, sir."
I'm not really sure what I should say, sir.
Well, we'll have to talk about the little situation in Easterton later, as I simply cannot devote any more of my daylight hours to it. We are in a desperate situation, and I'm afraid that there's a good chance that it'll get even more desperate. I'm sure Gregory has already told you about the situation with the Fae and the new situation with the devils. Our hope is that we can stop the Fae for now, and that the Cold Iron Gate will hold. However, there have been rumors and reports of a new warlock that the Fae, whatever Jamie was,
Oh.
a new Jamie.
So the
Where is he, by the way? And where is your wizard friend?
they are in one of the other northern cities. Jamie's father came, and I guess he's running some experiments and wanted the two of them to go with him.
Jamie was supposed to be here. He knows the Fae better than anyone else.
As soon as they're finished, they will come to Olengrad, I believe.
Ah, he goes, ah, and then, ah, and you see him and he just like punches like a stand-up candelabra, and it like falls to the ground, and the candle falls over and extinguishes. And he says, okay, so, no Jamie, that's all right. When he is back, I need you all to go down and figure out who this new warlock is, and make sure that, like Jamie, she doesn't open the Cold Iron Gate.
Do you know anything about her?
She's an elf. She's a full elf, so I guess it's an elf thing. But she has powers just like Jamie did when I met him.
Ice powers.
Yes.
How long has she been around?
It's tough to say, but we have only been running into her maybe the last month or so. She's fairly new on the scene, so definitely post Jamie.
Okay. What would you like us to do in the meantime?
Well, I was hoping that you'd be able to go down right away, but unfortunately, I don't know what there is for you to do here. Maybe if there's something that you could learn, something about the devils or something about the Fae, anything that you think you can do to help us with our upcoming situation of having an army of blissed out devils on our door.
Well, I think Rasper knows more about Bliss than anyone alive.
You said one came into the city.
Yes. We've had reports. He's some kind of a diplomat, but who exactly he's going to be conversing with, we're not sure, because he hasn't tried to talk to us.
Have you tried to talk to him?
No. We don't plan on extending the olive branch to these fiends.
Well, I think it's time that we find him and maybe do some talking.
With our words, not our fists.
Right. Words. You do the... He paused a moment. Yes. You can talk the words. Then I will talk with fists.
Sir, I've got a idea that it's been rattling around in my head. Is there any way we can pit these two opposing forces against each other?
He's kind of taken aback, and he says, "You mean somehow get the Fae and the devils to fight?"
Mm-hmm.
That would be an idea I was thinking of. I don't know much about either side, but I think they are ideologically against each other.
That, again, is not something that I know the answer to, but Clarion Johns, if you can figure out a way to get the Fae and the devils to fight, sure. The Fae have Gregory steps in and says, the Fae have way more numbers than the devils. So even if the devils were blitzed out, if the Fae could meet them on an open field, then absolutely. But the problem is the Fae are behind the Cold Iron Gate, and unless we open it to let the Fae out to fight the devils on the open field where their numbers will count, then unfortunately it's still going to be a bottleneck and it's going to be underground. And if the devils aren't going to actually go underground, then I don't know what's going to happen. I imagine that they'd have a better chance. The devils maybe would have a better chance of fighting the Fae in the tunnels if we can somehow convince the devils to help us fight there, but I don't think that's likely considering they're going to siege the city. So, again, if there is some way to, I guess, have some kind of confirmation from the Fae that if we let them out of the gate, they're not going to totally just roll over our defenses here in the city, then that absolutely would be an option. However, considering there isn't really any Fae to talk with, there isn't a representative who we can negotiate with. And I think the devils are while they do have apparently a guy here in town who we can negotiate with, I just don't know how likely it is that he's going to see our way.
Which side would you, if we had to deal with one, which side would you rather us deal with?
He thinks for a long time. He says, I've been doing a lot of fighting down under the surface, and I've seen the Fae do some pretty awful things, but I know that if I had my choice, I would probably go with the devil I know versus the devil I don't know. I know for a fact that while the Fae are hungry and are tearing apart the dwarves, I think that I'd rather keep fighting Fae than have to fight devils with bliss. But again, I don't think the Fae can be trusted, and frankly, from what I've seen, they're alien monsters. How do we even talk to them? We haven't met their leader.
I think this warlock might be someone we can negotiate with, who represents that side of the battle.
Well, I hope you're right. Open says, I hope you're right too. Maybe this Jamie something, whenever he gets back from whatever errand he's doing, will be able to shed some light on it.
I think we have our course of action in the meantime.
All right, I'll leave you to it. And he gets up out of his seat, and he leaves. And Gregory says, is there anything you need from me?
What motivates the Fae?
I've never spoken to one, so I don't know.
Are they just rampant consumers?
Everything that I've seen of them, again, the things that I've seen of them, they don't even speak a language we can understand. And Jamie, again, was our best shot at figuring something out, but apparently he didn't know, if I remember correctly, he didn't even know what they wanted himself. So maybe this new warlock will be able to give us some more answers, considering it seems like she came from within the mountain rather than from outside of it by some kind of means. But if you ask me, it seems like they're just an expanding, hungry force. You've seen the way the death clouds move. And I mean, again, Wendigos don't talk, and the rank and file bugs just certainly seem to be, just foot soldiers. So maybe they don't even know what they're doing. But whatever controls them must have some kind of goal. They wouldn't be pushing so desperately.
Where can we find this devil?
He's at an inn. An inn. Let's see how fast I can find my inn rolling table. It's an inn called. It's an inn called the First Spring Bud. Now that I know you're writing all these down, I feel like like I have to do a good job.
Nah. We've gotten some interesting ones.
It's an inn called the Sleeping Donkey.
The Boozy Gladiator.
Anyway, he's at an inn called the First Spring Bud, and from there he's, I think, staying in their largest room. I think they'll know who you're looking for if you go there.
Okay.
He's caused quite a stir, and I think it's an intentional stir. He wants us to know that he's there.
Anything you don't want me to say or do? I should know ahead of time.
I mean, don't make any deals. Don't give away Olengrad to the devils.
Yeah, of course.
Wish I didn't think I had to say that, but just make sure that. I mean, you're not. Just find out information. Don't negotiate anything. Don't make any deals. Don't make deals with devils, especially with lands that aren't yours. You might share my titles, but this is my city.
I understand. I just, any information that I should know about ahead of time, I should probably be told, lest I make a mistake.
Great. Well, now you know.
Great. I turn and leave.
He leaves out the other direction. It's like one of those, fine! Clarion and Rasper, you're still,
After this wraps up, Rasper's been thinking. It hurts him. One hit point.
One hit point!
And he turns to both of them. Clarion, I had a thought. Maybe we can get them to fight one another. I'm no wizard, and I know little of the arcane, but they are appearing out of nowhere. Can we not, like a bridge, move where they appear?
That would my arcane abilities come from song, and I know of no song that can move where they teleport to, but
Right, but we've got Vel and Darius, who knows plenty.
Poor Jamie.
That is a...
Maybe we don't have to release the Fae out of their gates. Maybe we can
move the devils to...
inside. Well, let's continue on.
I guess we need to find out more about the plans of the devils, and maybe we can find out how they get here. That'd be useful information. Very good thought. I wouldn't have thought of that.
It was he for a very small moment he has like a hint of epiphany.
What's Rasper's wisdom?
Rasper's wisdom is 14.
Okay, so he doesn't necessarily understand the science, but he thinks, well, couldn't we, if we can't move the Fae out, could we move the devils in?
Yeah. It's not a stretch. But it's the first time he's ever been complimented for thinking. Well, let's go get some information then.
That's so sad.
So, you guys arrive in. You've crossed the bridge to Espervald. A light snow is drifting from above. Darius has his hood up. You can see that he's like trying to keep a low profile. He doesn't want.
I assume there are townspeople milling about.
Yeah, there's some townspeople milling about. As you get towards the center of the square, and it's a very small village, but there is a large evergreen tree in the center, and it has the white snow on its branches. And this is like starting to get to wintry snow, so it's sort of like a thicker powder. Jamie, you remember times there's only a single road that goes through the town that then forks off, and you remember times when like there'd be huge snow drifts like piled high on either side, and they like have to just dig a thing out, but not yet. Just a light dusting, maybe an inch or two on the ground. As you're walking, you see, you hear before you see someone go, Jamie?
I whip my head around in that direction, and I see
Yeah, who is it?
it is this town school marm.
Yes, it is.
I did not expect
Miss
that one.
Mrs. Starterset.
Lady, Starterset says, Jamie something?
Mrs. Starterset?
What are you doing back? You were gone so long.
I know. Well, I came back to because I came to get some of my things out of the old house.
Oh, well, where have you been?
I actually live in Merrington now. You know Merrington?
Yes, that's a terrible den of thieves, isn't it?
No.
Kinda. Wait,
No, not anymore.
who are you?
It is a wonderful.
Oh.
This is Mrs. Starterset. She was the school teacher
You
here
see
in
that
town.
Darius is like.
You're the
pulled
one
forward
responsible
away.
for Jamie's education.
No, that's Darius. I just knew her because I was trying to make friends.
Oh, okay.
Yes, no, yes, Jamie, Darius wouldn't let. Is that Darius up ahead?
No.
You
What?
can see that he's pulled away and is like kind of like impatiently moving his horse in a circle.
Yes. Jamie says no, and I say yes.
I nudged
Ugh.
Belle.
What?
That's so it's not Darius.
No, it's a.
I'm not sure anymore.
No, it's one of his. You know how he is.
Yes.
It's one of his clones.
Oh, I see.
What?
Well, an interesting. Yes. So Jamie was never in my classroom because Darius preferred to teach him himself.
Bella stopped listening and is like, clones? And then he goes and walks, like, without saying goodbye, he just walks off and follows Darius. Cause,
How have you been?
I've been okay. This winter has been difficult, or this summer has been difficult rather. They're preparing for winter. The Nostromo family is really enforcing the taxes because of the cold iron wars. They've taken a
Yes.
very big toll on the community. Pretty much any cold iron jewelry or anything we've had has been requisitioned, as well as a good portion of our food to feed the dwarf armies as well as our armies, because so much of the dwarf land has been totally taken by the Fey Scourge.
Oh no!
Yeah, but
What happened to young Joaquin?
Joaquin?
Yeah.
Joaquin, he joined the army, and he died at the Battle of Bunford Pass.
I'm so sorry.
It was very sad, and our community took it very hard. Many of us now are out in the fields because so many of our young men have traveled and have joined the cause
Well,
of the Fae. And now I hear rumors that a devil army is starting to mount outside of Olengrad.
where did you hear that?
It's a couple of bards made their way through town. I guess they were fleeing the area. They came through the forested side, which is unusual.
That is very unusual.
Yeah, you know how treacherous the eastern pass and forests are.
Boy, do I.
So, my fear is that if they were that desperate to get out of there rather than going south, then there must be something to their stories.
Well, I'm gonna level with you, okay? There are many counter forces to us that want to get rid of the peace of Espervald. Okay? So just be prepared, but I don't think they will come this far west, okay?
Well, I hope that's the truth. Hopefully the Olengrad armies are able to stop them. There's pretty much all of your friends, everyone your age, except not your age, because you look surprisingly good, actually.
Oh.
I'm like a 50-year-old woman, and now that I think about it, that's like pretty. You're like 36.
Yeah, around there.
I forgot that half elves age differently, and that Jamie is way older. Yeah, so she's like, Jamie, you look remarkably good.
Thank you.
You always looked very young. And she's probably older if she was potentially your teacher. Look at how this characterization changed. Well, Jamie, if you'll excuse me, I have to finish picking the rest of the berries. I am just on my lunch break. I have to go out in the fields.
Well, drink some water, because you sound a little...
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, that's so much better. Thank you, Jamie. Yes. Well, Jamie, I hope you'll stay a while. Will we see you around the Silver Candle?
I believe so. Yes.
You should see the comfortable chair that they put in there.
Really?
Yes?
Oh.
Do you have a minute? We can go now?
I look at Darius, and he's like... Oh.
Yeah.
I thought.
He's like,
Did he even stop? I thought he kept.
He
going.
has stopped.
Oh, okay. Well, then I caught up with him.
Yes.
I was like, "Are you a clone? You have clones? Is that a thing you have?"
He looks at Vel, and he says, "Patience."
What?
Back to Jamie. Because actually, I have to get this clone back to the workshop real quick. He's due to go down here in a little bit, so I need to actually.
Jamie? What is a clone?
Yeah, the clone is like a double. It's like a copy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's like a genetic copy of yourself.
Very genetic. Well, I'm gonna go back and do my day laboring job of picking berries. So, unless you want to see the chair now.
I'll see the chair later. We'll come back later.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I wouldn't want to miss the comfortable chairs at the Silver Candle.
yes, they call it the Jamie seat.
Oh, be still my beating heart. Thank you so much.
Goodbye. Good to see you.
Goodbye.
They actually like you around here.
Most people do like me.
Oh. Oh, right. And so do I.
And Darius has continued moving. He's like, "Are you finished?
Yes,
wasting your time gabbing with the locals."
I'm finished keeping up your good reputation here.
My good reputation ended years ago.
Well, at least trying to keep up our family's name.
Well, you don't have. Wait. It's something. Okay.
Wait. A waste of time, if you ask me. And he whips his horse and he continues out to the workshop. Are you guys gonna do
I'm following
anything before?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going back to workshop. I'm cold. I need to get a jacket.
Great.
On the way there, I'm gonna be like, "So what do you guys eat around here?"
Well, back at the well, what I eat and what Jamie eats are two very different things.
Yeah, that's why I was talking to Jamie.
You see Darius takes out a blend of like protein, like some kind of protein
It's like an
liquid.
almond paste.
Yeah.
He just
Eat your protein paste.
he eats some of his protein paste.
Vel, do I have a treat for you? I know how much you enjoy sweeter things
Yeah.
and baked goods.
Yes.
Let's go. When we're done here, let's go to the crusted roll.
Why don't you go to the roll first? I'll get the workshop ready because Val and I have a long night of work.
Good. I'm hungry and about to die, so
Alright.
we should probably.
Great.
I offered you some almond paste.
Yeah, that doesn't smell like food.
That's because it has fish oil in it. It's what your body needs.
B-52.
It's what your body needs. I need some bread or something. Let's go.
Alright, I go inside, I grab a coat from my closet. It's a heavier coat.
Okay.
Probably a little small just because...
The workshop, there's two
Oh.
buildings. There's like the little house. It's like a one-room house with a fireplace. And then a ways away is a slightly larger structure, which is the actual workshop.
Okay. So Vel and I go to the crusted roll, which is a bakery.
And while you're getting your coat, Vel stood at the service. So hungry.
You ride back into town to the Crusted Roll, which is again a very small. It's like a one-room house. You can see that there's a warm glow on the inside from the ovens. There's smoke coming out the chimney. This kind of, it's more like it's like a pretzel bread.
Oh.
It's like a sweet pretzel bread, and they like have like rock salt on the top.
Oh, interesting. So not like a sourdough, but like a
It's like a-
sweeter bread.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Like a sweet pretzel bread.
But that's not why I brought you here, Vel.
What? But Vel's like about to eat a pretzel, and you're like,
please enjoy the Espervalden roll. But you need some Friesenbaum baklava. That is
that's not. You're just making noises.
Mr.
Yeah. Should I have the
Mr.
smorgasbord?
Mavash.
Mr. Mavash.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mavash, can I please get 2 pieces of Friesenbaum baklava?
Yeah, and some smorgasbord too.
He cuts out of the big box Esperval baklava.
No, Friesenbaum baklava.
Oh, Friesenbaum baklava.
It's a regional thing.
Yes, right. Okay, Friesenbaum baklava. And he pulls out. He cuts it from the large dish, and he brings it out to you. It's the wafer thin, layered with honey and honey and syrup.
Yeah, honey and like a maple syrup.
Yeah.
And then instead of like walnuts or whatever, it's like a pine nut kind of mixture from the pine trees.
Okay.
I was Pamela had the idea the other day to do some like recipes based on the Threshold world.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about if you guys are interested in a Threshold cookbook, let us know in the comments, and I'll get Zach in on
Yeah, we'll
writing
get
some
culinary-
recipes.
Oh man, that'd be a great cooking show.
Yeah, it would.
So this baklava.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh.
Mr. Mavash has cooked it up very, very special.
You know, one of these days I'm gonna eat something bad, but today isn't that day.
No, it is not. Oh.
It's delicious. You see a couple of people come in and they dust the snow off of them and hang their coats up on the side. All the buildings have like a hook line on the wall to hang your heavy coats. They hang them by the fire, and they come in. One of them looks at you and goes, Jarmy.
Hey, it's that. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Chief. Hey, haven't seen you in a long time.
Can I roll to see who this guy is?
Yeah.
Did they pronounce your name Jarmy up here?
No, he doesn't know my name.
I thought that was a regional thing, like the smorgasbord of food.
Friesenbaum baklava.
That's what I said.
What am I rolling? 10.
So, you think his name might be like Kyle or Carl or?
Hey, what's going on, Carol?
Oh, hey, J man. Not much. Hey, he like his brain starts to like catch up, and he goes, "Hey, your dad's not here, is he?"
No.
Just a clone. Or so, yeah.
Yeah, just one of his clones.
This
One
is
of
good.
his clones. Well, good, because he's not allowed back here.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Are you in contact with him?
Would you be?
No.
Exactly.
Good. I was worried that you got roped into that. Yeah, we ran him out of town.
You ran him out of town?
Yeah.
Oh, I was unaware of that. I thought
Right after your mom got taken.
Why?
Oh, because he was almost certainly to blame for it. Always doing those crazy experiments up in his little shack.
Yeah, I hate it.
After this guy got hurt, and his wife was killed by those bandits. We told him to get out of here. Espervald's a peaceful place, and he was bringing nothing but trouble here. So.
Yeah, that's bad.
But enough about me. How are you doing? How's your wife?
She's good. I mean, she's not good. She passed.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's fine. I'm doing good though.
Oh, good.
I'm doing well. How's your wife?
Anastasia's great.
Ow! Stop it! That's still tender.
Anastasia, right. The elf.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Elf?
Yeah, the elf that's your wife.
Oh no.
Oh.
No, that's my sister.
Oh man,
That's
I'm
really
so
embarrassing
sorry.
for you.
Well, yeah. So real great seeing ya, Jared. I'm not that hungry. I'm gonna leave. See ya.
Bye.
It's like he puts his coat back on, and his friends have like ordered their food, and they're like really confused, and they kind of sheepishly wave, and they leave.
All right. Well, that was a treat.
Remember when I said my Darius was kind of a celebrity?
Vaguely.
I'm kind of like the son of a celebrity, I guess. A lot of people know who I am. I don't really know who they are.
What's that like?
I don't know. Vox Populi. Exaltus
Exaltus.
Populi.
Exaltus.
So you head to the first spring bud. You can see that it has like that sort of Disneyland-esque, the way that the buildings, like old German buildings, are like carved with like things. It has a bunch of like roses and flowers and things carved on it, and they're very well done. So it almost looks like there's roses and tulips growing up the side of this building. It's a very nice inn. It's on the top part of town because Olengrad has those two levels. It's up at the top, and it has a little sign outside. It's 2 stories, nice windows. You can see that there's actually the second story is all just one room, and it's you can see that there's not a lot of snow on the roof, and you can see that there's a nice, good amount of smoke coming from the chimney. It looks like the place inside is very warm. The snow continues to drift down. You also notice in this part of town there's like a few people curiously onlooking. There's a few people across the street who are wearing, you see them, they all have like holy symbols of Adam, and they are standing across the street like throwing holy water at the building, and they're cursing it, and they're saying things like, "Go back to hell!" and like, "You're not wanted here, get out of this town!" As they throw holy water and curses at the building, and some of them are saying prayers to the Phoenix God.
I walk in.
Yeah, we're walking past the crowd.
All right, you walk past the crowd, and as you do, someone like reaches out to like grab one of you guys. Are you gonna react at all, or just let him grab you?
Does he grab me?
Shoulder.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Who is he reaching for?
Who's he grabbing?
He's gonna reach for Christine. Actually, are you armored?
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna reach for Christine.
I like quickly turn around and like take a step back.
You see that he's kind of an older man, and he says, "Don't you know who's in there?
Do you know who you address, sir?
There is a devil inside this place.
This is
Comes
Lady
straight from hell."
Nostromo that you're trying to touch.
He like looks, and he goes click 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 click, He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, my lady." And you can see a couple other people. They kind of bow. And he goes, "Have you come to expel the devil from our city?"
Something like that, yes.
Good. Another woman says, "This foul presence shouldn't stand here in Olengrad. Let the fires of Adam burn him out."
I will do what I can.
And you hear like some, "Adam be with you. May the Phoenix Lord guide you. May your sword be your holy fire upon the evil ones."
I walk into the building.
Great. You walk inside and they kind of like all stand there. As you guys are going in, you also see that maybe there's some just like looky-loos now have started to gather after the commotion. You walk inside. It's a pretty normal inn. There's a nice fireplace, big hearth room, like a general common room. The bar is done in that same style. Lots of roses kind of growing up all over the place. It's a sherryman who is behind the counter. A sherryman in Olengrad. Poor guy.
Probably cool.
Yeah. You see that he has, even inside with the large fire roaring in the back, he has like a big coat on. And he might have some elven heritage down the line because he's tall and slender and his ears are kind of a little bit thinner at the top. But he's definitely human. And he has a big beard like they all have in Olengrad. He has the big Olengrad beard. But it's in a more blondish, dirty blonde hair color. He looks at you guys and he says, "Hello, can I help you?"
Yes, we are looking for your unsavory customer.
He sighs and he says, "All right. I guess what brings you here?" He stops for a second. No, he doesn't. He doesn't stop for a second. It's clear he doesn't recognize who you are.
Yeah.
And he says, he's upstairs. What exactly are you looking for him for?
We wish to converse with him.
Give me a diplomacy check. Or persuasion, I guess.
Yep. 19.
He says, "Okay, yeah, absolutely. I can do that for you." He stops for a moment and he says, "We have a back office, or I guess this is a weird question. Do you know him? Is he expecting you?" I'm sorry. I wouldn't normally ask all these. I wouldn't normally ask all these questions. He paid me a lot of gold to stay here. Otherwise, I would have turned him away.
Rasper is bored with this. He says he should have expected someone, and he pushes past and starts walking upstairs.
The guy looks to Clarion after Clarion's persuasion. He says, "Is it okay if he's doing that?"
We really need to try and talk to this creature.
Okay, just please don't hurt him.
We don't want to.
He gave me 2 grand caps, and he promised me another one if everything's safe. I mean, this building is like. Do you guys know that like grand cap is like I think 100 gold pieces or something?
Well, we don't wish to have any sort of confrontation, especially on these premises.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, he's upstairs.
Which room?
It's downstairs down the hall are our normal rooms. Upstairs is all just one giant suite. It's usually used for wealthy sherry businessmen, but in this case, it's used for devils.
Thank you.
Benjen.
Benjen?
Mm-hmm.
Benjen. Thank you.
Benjen Dario.
Oh.
No D's.
I walk upstairs to try and catch Rasper.
Rasper,
before
wait
he
up.
breaks down every single
By
door.
now, Rasper's rasping on the door with the handle of his shovel. Going, "Boom, boom. We're here to talk.
Rasper, just don't start a fight.
Oh, before I go, did you catch his name or anything to call him? Or
He's
genders on different planes?
No. He said to call him. What was it? It was weird. He said to call him Tory, which I thought was strange. I thought devils had fancier names.
Tory.
No confrontation, I swear, and I go catch up with the other two.
Confrontation.
Rasmus's knocking on the door. Christine is right up behind, with then Clarion coming up behind. Oh, and I lied. A grand cap is platinum. I forgot. It's like a pound of platinum.
Oh my goodness. So he's just.
So it's like 300 platinum pieces.
Whoa.
That's a lot of money.
Got loaded.
Yeah. That guy's moving back to Sherry.
Vel and Jamie, you have arrived back at the workshop. You can see that Darius has started a fire in the main house, and there is he's kind of, you can see him starting to do some stuff in the workshop. And as you guys approach to warm yourselves by the fire in the little house, he joins you, and he says, "How was that bread?
It was fine.
It was really good.
Filling and inefficient, I assume."
Yes, so filling, so inefficient. You gotta try some.
I don't think I do, but anyway.
Yeah, you probably don't.
How is the town, Jamie?
Pretty much the same. A little,
They hate you.
yeah, they don't like you at all.
Yes.
I was unaware that you got run out of town. I thought you just left like a dick.
Well, I chose to leave. I could probably have killed the entire town if I chose, but I didn't feel that was efficient.
No, murder hardly ever is.
Murder and bread. Murder and bread, never efficient.
Well, Val, if you're about ready for work, we can head over to the workshop.
Yes, I'm still unclear so it's got something to do with this. Pulls out the staff,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Essentially, I believe that staff has some of the same vessel properties, and I'm going to attempt to do some of the experiments that I used to do on my on Jamie back in the day. And when we do those experiments, hopefully the staff will take the moon energy and we can turn it into something potentially more. Create a magic artifact.
Okay.
It's an art that has been lost for a long time. The Broken Kingdoms had the furthest research before the event on creating magic items.
Right. The whole. Okay. Yeah. Broken Kingdoms. No magic. That whole thing.
Yes.
Okay.
It's using some of their research.
Yeah. Well, I guess moon energy would be the logical choice then, huh?
Yes. So
Okay.
I will be performing the main part of the ritual, and you will be assisting me as well as doing the secondary parts of the ritual, which I'll walk you through.
Okay. What's Jamie gonna do?
Jamie's gonna stay here in the house.
Okay. Did you want to watch or something?
No.
Okay.
And-
have fun.
Jamie, if anyone should come around, you tell them that you're here on your own and that I'm not in the workshop doing experiments. Because I imagine that the townspeople would react fairly negatively to that.
Yes. And I don't want to upset the townspeople, so
Yes.
I will
Okay.
tell your lie for you.
Thank you. Well, since
Thank
we're all
you.
agreed,
We're agreed. Just
Oh, okay. Good.
yes,
Okay.
bring that staff, Vel. You should
Right.
bring your coats too. It's cold in the workshop. It's not heated.
Okay.
heating would be inefficient.
I need it to remain cold for some of my experiments.
Oh, I'm not gonna like what's in here. Okay, here we go.
You guys walk out to the workshop. I'll get to that in a minute.
I read a book or something. I find
The sun sets,
Okay.
and the snow starts to fall. It's actually quite a pretty picture. You're in a warm orange, cozy room with the cold blue on the outside. Snow starts to pile up in the windowsills. It's like a one-room cabin with like the window panes with like the like the classic square window panes. And you're sitting comfortably, and then all of a sudden there's a knock on the door.
I go up to the door. Is there a peephole?
Hmm?
Is there a peephole?
Yeah, there is.
I look through the peephole.
You can see kind of a shape. It's like sort of a dark figure. He's pretty bundled up.
Yes, who is it? 19.
Jamie, I know it's you. Open up.
No, Jamie here.
Yes, yes, Jamie here. Jamie, open up. I have a present for you. You open it, and the man comes inside, and he takes off his big parka, and you see his pressed black suit as he hands you his coat. He says, "Oh, hey, Jamie, how's it going? It's Meta." He dusts.
Why did you need this?
What?
Why did you need this?
Oh, because it was a much better picture of me taking it off than if I just showed up.
That's true. That was a better moment.
Yeah.
Very good.
Plus, I needed the pockets.
Yes, for what?
Yes, for this gift. Here, hand it back to me. He shakes it out, and you see that it transforms into what looks to be like a breastplate, like armor with shoulder pads, but it's made out of paper. It's paper mache. And he says, "Made it special for you."
Oh, awesome.
As you get a closer look at it, you can see that each of the pages is written in handwriting, and it's names and it's people's life stories. And he goes, "So, couple of things. One, don't wear this around any temples of Nara, because they will flip out."
No, no temples of no. I've pulled out a small notebook.
Essentially, I've noticed, Jamie, that pretty recently, you've been taking a pretty heavy beating.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not good. I need you alive. So hopefully this will give you a little bit more it doesn't improve your AC, unfortunately, but it is going to give you the ability to nullify some damage.
Okay.
Jamie, you understand this.
Yeah, of course I do.
Because of your meta powers. He says, "Oh, and how are you liking that extra warlock level? I know we respect you from the rogue."
I'm very happy to get rid of that rogue level.
Good. Yeah, that was really just. That was just.
What's it doing?
It wasn't.
I don't know what you were thinking.
It wasn't doing anything. I know.
That was a really bad.
I know. It was silly. It was silly. So here, I'll give you this. This gives you all the information that you're gonna need to know about that item.
Yeah, of course it's plot armor.
Yeah, it's plot armor.
Wonderful.
And it's Jamie, you get the idea that it's made from the pages of Nara's book that he's torn out and he's paper mache'd into armor. So this is the power of one of my sisters, which will hopefully protect you from Dika by using some of her.
Dika does not like me.
No. Exactly. And so this will hopefully give you a little bit of an edge.
Hopefully so. Well, thank you so much. That's really unnecessary.
Yeah, you're welcome. You wanna just sit for a minute and chat?
Sure. I got nothing better to do. You want some cocoa?
Sure. That sounds great.
We don't have cocoa here. That's not.
Oh, here we go.
There he is.
He makes some cocoa, and he says, "You could have just said you wanted cocoa." Although this did make a much better moment. He sets the instead of me pantomiming a glass and setting it on the table, he has a real glass and he's sitting on a pantomimed table. And he says, "Man, crossover's coming up."
Yes, many crossovers come up every day.
Yeah. Well, I better go. But
You wanted to chat a bit. I thought we were going to chat.
yeah, I realized maybe I shouldn't give too much away too
Well,
early.
can you at least tell me what by what crossover you're referring to?
Oh yeah, the moonlight is gonna intersect the. We're at the threshold of moonlight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So big stuff there. Last week's episode, lots of big stuff happening. That was really exciting. Just one more. Anyway, I better go. This was great. Hopefully that'll work out well for you.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Hopefully, it's not very it's like all crumbly, like not crumbly, but it's weird. It's a weird texture.
It's paper mache.
Yeah.
And like layers and layers of books torn from Nara's sacred book that has everyone's life written in it. And he says, "Well, I better get going. Oh, and no hard feelings about the whole Devil Army thing, right?"
No, it's a great story.
Okay, great. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad we're on the same
As long
page here.
as I win.
Well, hopefully that armor will help put Nara on your side and give Dika a little less sway.
Hopefully so.
Great.
All right. Nice to see you.
Good to see you
All
too.
right, bye-bye.
All right. James starts reading.
I imagine like this page is like right here.
It's
Just the rules.
The instructions.
Rules for the armor.
I think it's a tag that he's attached.
Like the tag over shit.
Yeah, there's a tag in the back where the washing instructions would be.
Ridiculous.
We jumped the shark. We've now jumped the shark.
Well, I'm gonna spend the rest of the evening attuning to this armor.
Great. You arrive at the door. You see it is marked with the Elvish letter P for penthouse. And Rasper knocks at the door, and you hear from the other side, "Yes, who is it?"
Mr. Tory, we wish to discuss something with you.
Yes, of course. Come on in. You hear him get up, across the room, unlock the door, and then open it. And you... you see, he looks like a humanoid man. He sort of looks like, maybe, Clarion, in your travels, you've seen a tiefling in your life. I just made a statement as to how rare they are. Maybe in your travels, you have seen a tiefling in your life. He has like red skin, a red skin humanoid, with finely dressed in a sort of more Syraxan style, and he has horns that like curved horns on either side of his head.
Like a ram?
Yeah, like ram's horns.
Okay.
But other than that, he looks charming and attractive. Other than the red tiefling-esque skin, he might even be tiefling. And he has cloven hooves. And he says, "Come in, please."
Oh, I wouldn't think the representative of the Devil Army to be so human-looking.
Yes, we find that my kind finds that it's best to at least try to blend in a little bit when traveling in distant lands. We have to choose a form on the material plane. We might as well choose one that makes us fit in a little bit.
So this is not your true face?
It's no, it's not.
All right.
But please, come, have a seat. You see the room is very finely decorated. There's a big fire going. The room is like exceptionally warm. Like he's trying to keep it to devil temperatures.
Hellish figures.
Yeah. There's lots of books. You can see he's studying. He has like maps and books from the library of Olengrad, of the city, that he's like looking over.
Can I
And
gain any knowledge from looking over it as far as like troop movements or?
give me a perception check.
8.
No, not really. There's no troop movements on it. You can see he's more of just studying like maps of the city, the nearby coastline. There's a couple of maps of like what the city walls look like. Some histories of different mammoth wars that have happened. So it looks like he's just like getting some research on the enemy. He invites you guys to sit down in some rather large chairs, and he has a small tea set up, and he is making some tea. He's making like rose tea, and he's like sort of heating it up with just his hands. And he says, "Please have a seat." You were going to say, "What is your name, sir?"
I am Clarion Johns.
Oh,
And
Mr.
you
Johns.
You are Satori?
Yes, Tori. Tori is a human name, isn't it?
Something of... It's a human name.
Is there a name you'd rather call me?
Tori's fine.
Tori, great.
Well, this is Rasper Hawkborn.
Mr. Hawkborn, very nice to meet you.
His arms are crossed.
He does like extend his hand to shake it.
Rasper doesn't break eye contact.
Neither does he. He just says, very, very nice to meet you. And the lady...
This is Lady Nostromo.
Lady Nostromo. So I was wondering how long it would take them to send a representative to meet me.
Yes.
We are that representative.
Well, excellent. I expected a summons. Is there a reason that you're coming to me?
We're just gathering information right now. We're not
Yes, I see.
not the official. We're not signing any contracts per se.
Oh, no. Know what I expect you to. I mean, this is the back and forth, right? I'm here gaining information on you. You're here to gain information on me. Parry into reverse parry.
Repose.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. So, what can I do to help?
Why are you here?
Like I said, I'm here to gain information, so I can pass it on to Kumbhakarna.
Why does Kumbhakarna want to come here?
To Olengrad specifically?
To our plane specifically.
Oh, Kumbhakarna, you must understand that I'm not pledged to Kumbhakarna. We're simply, his 2 legions are simply on loan from another devil named Karselfian. And Karselfian, she's just hoping that somehow in all this she'll maybe get a promotion from Asmodeus when this all finishes off. But Kumbhakarna he's really an ancient fiend, and he actually has a lot to do with those. He walks over to the big window on the 2nd story, and he says, with all of those fellows down there, and he points to the Adam grouping with their pendants. Do you know the story of Kumbhakarna and Adam?
I do not.
Oh, it's rather an old one. I'll summarize it as best I can for you. Long story short, Kumbhakarna, when Adam was on Earth, they traveled together and were friends. They grew up together. But then Kumbhakarna betrayed Adam, and Adam not only cast him from the group, but actually killed him. But in Kumbhakarna's rage, his soul was preserved and has been continually reborn into whatever that the Rakshasa form that you know him as. So this is his plan now with this bliss, to create an army that will begin to grow. He hopes that if he can take large sections of Eron, that perhaps he will catch the attention of some other devils who might want to throw in with him to give him more legions to eventually wipe out humanity from the planet. humans are Adam's chosen people, and he's their progenitor deity, and so Kumbhakarna wants to destroy them.
How did you know we met with Kumbhakarna? You said that I had met him once. How did you know that?
Oh, because that's my job. My job is to know things about you, and of course, as it's your job right here to learn things about me.
Why us specifically?
Why you specifically? Well, because you're part of all this, right? I mean, you're the one who revealed him. So when he comes back, I say, Kumbhakarna, you're early. Why are you back so soon? I thought we had a few more shipments left. And he says no. It's and he tells me the story, and I keep it down. I have a journal and I write it all down, and I keep it up here. And so I figure out what the next play is. So we adjust strategies. And like it or not, you're heavily tied into this whole Kumbhakarna business.
Do you have any loyalty to him?
Only so long as my boss commands it, Karselfian. Were Kumbhakarna to fall out of favor with Karselfian, then perhaps my loyalty would wane. But as of right now, it is my employment and my task to keep Kumbhakarna's battle engine running.
Well then, if you're not distinctly loyal to him, then maybe we perhaps persuade you to aid us against him.
He kind of smiles and he says, Now, see what you're asking me. If I'm going to assume that is a hypothetical, because if you were to ask me to break my contract with my other lords, it would be a very bad thing. It would look pretty negatively upon me, unless there was some kind of clause in which I could get out of it. But in order to go through all these logistics and loopholes, I would need something to make it worth my while.
Wouldn't his failure leave a opening for you to fill amongst the ranks of...
Unfortunately, Kumbhakarna is an outsider. He's not one of the archlords of hell. So his failure would just simply keep me at my regular position. Like I said, we are on loan. Normally it is. Are you much familiar with the devils of the Nine Hells?
Not me particularly.
Anyway, they're these horrible. They're like 9 feet tall, and they're like bug ice people, and they are. They typically are the ones who we would answer to, our legion, but because. And normally we'd be one of 8, but because we're on loan to Kumbhakarna, we're talking to him. So we would just go back to our normal general.
They're bug ice people?
Yes. Oh, Christine, make a will save.
Arcana?
No, will save.
No, I'm saying...
Oh, you want to make Arcana?
Yeah.
Yeah. 14.
You can feel him like trying to probe your mind to figure out where your question is coming from.
13?
Because he just said they are bug ice people.
Right. Yeah. No. Well, like where you're. I mean, like what you're thinking, like what your train of thought is.
Okay.
But you're able to push him out,
Okay.
and he says, he says, yes, bug ice people. Why do you Why is that of interest to you? Clarion, you've seen drawings, ice devils.
It just sounded strange to me. And,
Yes, not all of the layers of the 9 hells are fire. Many are very cold.
I believe we're having a cordial discussion. I do not appreciate what you tried.
Oh! That, yes. Well, normally it's It's a bad habit.
Mhm.
And I apologize very greatly.
Do
What-
devils want to be people?
Mm.
You come to our plane and you try to make yourself as human as possible.
Well, yes, the old saying, you know, when in Gigaplax, do as the Gigaplacians do.
Yes. Even though you still don't look completely human.
Oh no, no, I want to. That would be how disingenuous would it be if I were to come here and you see him like do a couple of hand waves and his he changes like to be perfectly human. He says, how disingenuous would it be if I were to come in and sit here amongst you and put on this face or something like it, and to say I was human? No, he goes back to the horns. And he says, "See, this way it's much easier to have a conversation than with say the man who tried to swallow you, the gluttony devil.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wouldn't be having this conversation with someone who looked like that, would you?"
No. Perhaps not.
Rasper leans over. He knows a lot about us.
Rasper, make a will save.
We had a will.
Wisdom.
13.
Okay. Let me see. You can feel him kind of like swimming around in your brain for a second. And he says, "Well, of course, Mr. Hawkhorn, it's our job to know about you. I see, again, apologies, bad habits. I see that you're looking around, that you had the idea of moving where we teleport."
Rasper is shocked. His eyes widen a bit. And what of the Fae? Do you plan to destroy them too?
The Fae are to Kumbhakana are inconsequential. He hasn't made any statements for or against them. So exactly how they fit into this, I cannot confirm or deny whether or not they are a target. I can, however, confirm that it is our plan to wipe out the humans in particular here on this plane. So I suppose that would mean that elves and what are the frog ones?
Bullywugs.
Bullywugs, yes, bullywugs. I assume that they would be safe. However, until such a time that Kumbhakana changes his mind.
Tori, this is the second time that you have reached into our minds. If you do it
Yes,
once
yes,
more-
and I'm very, very sorry.
If you do it once more, this discussion is over.
I understand. I will refrain.
Thank you.
I will, yes. And thank you again for your patience. I'm not entirely used to dealing with humans.
Have you never been on this plane before?
No, this is my first time. I've been to some others, but this particular plane, no, this is my first time here.
So, it seems you might know a thing or two about our plans now. Would you be willing to tell us how it is determined that they teleport?
Yes, they have specific coordinates. It's a spell. It's a plane shift spell. There's always a percentage chance that it could go awry and they could end up somewhere else. But each squad of eight devils will have their own scroll spell that they will then cast to shift here. With particular coordinates. In this case, outside the fields of Olengrad.
So they come in groups of 8.
Yes.
And will multiple sets of these squads be sent to a singular place?
I imagine that they'll all be sent. The mass of the army, I think it's 20,000 bearded devils, will be sent to the fields outside of Olengrad. My do my figures dishearten you?
No.
You see him like start to want to read your mind, but he catches himself and he says, "Oh, good. That's good."
It seems rather unfair that you have chosen to use resources from our plane to aid yourself.
You mean
Bliss.
You mean the bliss? Oh yes, that was my idea actually. Very long time ago. I had been noticing that as new souls were coming in, that many of them were related to this bliss drug trade, and there were actually a lot of souls that weren't coming in. Of course, research, one thing found another, found this bliss. And it's a very, very potent concept. And so when Kumbhakarna was trying to hatch his whole plan, I naturally helped him out with some of the more technical side of things. He got the army, and I was set to figure out how best to secure our advantage.
Doesn't it seem a little unfair that you're trying to essentially start and finish a war without letting the other side even know that there's
unfair?
Well,
I think that we have given you plenty of warning.
how?
Well, I mean, Kumbhakarna sent his entire...
Right.
laid his entire plan out right in front of you, I think.
Right. 2 weeks ago. Or something like
Been a month, I think.
A month.
that. Right. And how long have you been bottling bliss and feeding it to your
50
army?
years, yes.
See, that is the difference. You've been preparing for a war, and we have no warning except a month ago.
Well, your human lives are so short, Miss Nostromo. Mrs. Nostromo? Mrs. Nostromo. Pronouns. No, titles. Mrs. Nostromo.
Lady.
Lady Nostromo. We've had plenty of time. A month is certainly long enough. You've been able to get up here. You've been able to put a couple of plans together. Yes. Would you like more time? How much time would you need? I can't necessarily guarantee it. Just for the hypothetical. In the sake of fairness, I'd like to hear you out.
Let me get this straight. So, Kumbhakarna sends his mastermind to spy for his armies, and you expect us to do what? Nothing?
I'm afraid I don't follow.
You expect us to just let you live here?
Well, yes. If you want to send an envoy down to look at our army before it goes, I mean that would be certainly all well and good within all fairness. We would certainly allow him to come down.
That's possible.
Absolutely. I could of course take someone down there to take a gander at the army.
I think we have much of the information we require from you.
And that's very fair. Have you seen a bearded devil fight?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good. Yes. Then perhaps some of the larger lieutenants might be of interest, but other than that, perhaps it would be not time efficient, considering that our timelines don't always sync up.
Is it just bearded devils?
Mostly. I mean, they're certainly the rank and file of the troop, but of course there's several layers above them. There's different lieutenants. Yes. I think we have 2 horned devils. We have a cavalry of Eries. It's quite a production.
And tell me one last thing.
Yes.
Unlike Kumbhakarna, do your kind regenerate when you die? Do your souls?
You're talking about killing me.
Right.
If you kill me, then I will simply I will return to my I will return to the Nine Hells, where I will either be depending on what my superiors deem necessary, they will either demote me to a lower rank, potentially all the way down to a lemure, or I will simply be allowed to continue. The bearded devils that you killed in Marenton, they were sent back down to us, and they have been demoted.
So you don't die, really. So hypothetically,
Yes.
say we kill one of your kind, and they are not demoted. They could just pop and materialize right back through and continue to fight.
Yes, it's not quite that simple. It does take some time.
How much time?
It really depends on how long the hearing goes. It can take anywhere from like 2 to 3 weeks to get a hearing. There's a lot of stuff going on in hell. You have to have a hearing, and then there's a committee that discusses it usually, and then there's a discussion on each person for each committee, and then there's a research period, and there's usually a trial of some sort. So it can take a period of time. If you're worried about infinite waves of devils, then it's just simply not feasible. There's too much paperwork for something like that. We're not we're not the abyss. We're not demons after all.
So your scrolls only work for the fields outside of Olengrad?
Well, those particular ones, yes. They've been scribed particularly to. Where's Vel? I feel like he could explain this much better to you.
He's off somewhere.
Okay, I'll let that go. But yes, these particular ones will only be towards the field of Olengrad. If we wanted to change the location now, it'd be quite a headache and would delay us significantly.
But what I'm asking is, that is the only place you will be coming up into our plane, or is it all over Arrow?
No, initially. I mean, we're trying to keep our force concentrated.
Mm-hmm. Then why do they pop up in Marenton?
Oh, yes, like I said, they did their spell very wrong, which is why 2 of them died upon entry, and the remainders you dealt with.
And who writes these scrolls?
Oh, we have a team down in hell that produce them.
And how exactly do you communicate with Kumbhakarna?
Well, I will probably when I'm done here, or do you mean how do I send him letters?
Either.
There are various spells that I have for sending objects down to him on the hellish plains. Okay, so Vel, you and Darius have you've traveled into the workshop. You've across the street into the snow. He opens the door, and you can see lots of workbenches. Basically, a big like double shelf thing lines the center of the room, just full of material components.
You must have warded this place before they ran you out of town or something.
Oh, yes, quite extensively.
Yeah, it's amazing that this is undisturbed. How long have you been gone?
A couple of years. So not that long of a time. However, you would be surprised, while there are some wards on it, you'd also be surprised how much reputation.
I'm sure a few bright flashes would be enough to deter most of the populace.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And there's a couple of convenient things. If you tell them a place is haunted and you have a reputation for being a evil wizard, then it's pretty amazing what it will do to keep people away. Especially in a small town like this without adventurers.
Yes. Anywho, all right. How do I do this?
So, once we start this ritual, it's supposed to be done by 2. Making many of these items is supposed to be done by 2 very skilled craftsmen, so there's not a lot of room for error.
Okay.
And so I think we're just gonna jump right into it.
Right. Yeah.
And I will tell you what to do.
Good. No error. No error is my middle name.
Yes, there's very little. Very little.
Monavon, no error. Tanter.
You see him. It's actually kind of warm in here.
Oh. Okay.
And he just like throws his coat off.
Why'd you tell? Okay. You said it would be cold in here.
Yes,
All right.
I did say that. I guess it's a little warmer than I thought. Remind me when we're done here for me to check the basement.
Remind me when we're done here for me to check the basement.
Good. He pulls. He kind of like moves an anvil over towards where you guys are, and he sets it in the middle. And the anvil is inscribed with some runes. And he takes out a small little tool to like kind of make sure that they're all carved in there.
Okay.
Nice and deep. And he says, Vel, would you give me a hand with this and make sure all these symbols are in order?
Yeah.
Arcana check.
I'm sure. I know a lot about Broken Kingdom artifices.
These are in Elvish.
Oh, well, I do know a lot. Okay, well, good. No, 23.
Great. Yeah, you guys start dusting it off, and says, okay. So, here's what I'm going to do. Touch the tip of the staff to the anvil, and you see him move to sort of like a box, and he opens it, and like some fog comes out as he does because it's very cold in there, and he pulls out a glass vial full of, it's the same kind of glow that when the moonlight struck Jamie.
How did you get that?
He says, I took it from some other magic items that were sacred to Luna. Very small things, trinkets that many clerics would have. But after I collected enough of it, I was able to get quite a few sources of this. This is the same kind of moon power that I was hoping once we found the goddess, I would be able to transmute into her by a similar fashion. And hopefully you do remember most of your most of the things you did when you brought Lunam back.
Yeah, and I have it written down here, and I think some of it's in here.
Perfect. We're going to need it. So I'm going to pour this energy down the length of the staff while the tip is touching the top of this anvil. And right at the moment when it reaches the tip of the staff, I want you to start saying the incantation.
All right.
Okay.
Time like the present. Touch.
All right. He pours it, and the moon energy is like a liquid, and it seeps down, and it starts to like go across the whole thing. He pours about half of it and sets half of it aside.
Okay.
Give me a perception check to see right when it reaches the very tip.
Perception. 17. Oh, no, 15. Sorry.
That's good enough. You notice right when it reaches the end, and you see that exact moment.
All right. Chant, Paris, Parlunum,
You
Elvish.
start saying the chant, and you hear Darius start to also chant himself, and then after he says a few words, he says, "Now I need you to turn it 45 degrees in each direction while I hit it with this," and he pulls out like a gold hammer.
All right.
Give me a dex check to turn it quickly so that your hands don't fumble.
20. All right. I'm rolling well for once.
You're killing it. He starts pounding it. You guys are turning it almost like you're tempering it. And as he hits the moon energy with the golden hammer, you can see like that the moon energy is like starting to splash off into like different directions.
Yeah. You know what this reminds
me of? Solidify.
Did you ever watch the old Iron Man cartoon in the 90s? His opening of him building the suit, and every time he hits it, there's a big like image of Iron Man like behind him.
It is, yeah. It's kind of like that. Yeah. So there's like a flash of blue when he hits it, and then it's like starting to spray off. The moon energy is starting to like spray off and like freeze in the air. So it's like starting to be like these two jets of like silver as they come off from the side. He says, "Okay, that's interesting. Val, I'm going to need to make an adjustment. So go ahead and de-transmufy the 5th stanza of every incantation. Give me an Arcana
You
check
got it.
to do that on the fly.
17.
Heck yes. You're doing it, and as you're continuing to flip the thing around, and then he says, "Now sing with me sing with me that ancient moon goddess lullaby."
Right,
Give me
under
a history check to know the lyrics.
25.
Right, what were you gonna say the title is?
It was in the Oh Sherry Wine essay. It was Under the Silver Moon.
Oh yeah,
There's a
Under the
song
Silver
that they
Moon.
mentioned
Perfect. You start singing under the Sherry Moon, and neither of you decides to take the harmony, which is traditional because
Right.
I don't think either of you are particularly good singers.
Nope.
So you continue pounding it again. Darius slides out a bucket of water, and he says, "Now, Val, carefully plunge this when I say now into the staff into the bucket of water.
Okay.
Now, make a dex check."
Dex. Oh. 7.
Okay. As you're doing it, you accidentally poke the sort of like the top of the staff accidentally hits the side of the bucket before making it to the inside, and you can see that like a red like blood starts actually coming out of the staff.
What the heck?
He says, "Now, Vel, I'm very sorry, but this next part is going to hurt."
What are you doing?
Make a con check as Darius plunges his hands into the water, casting a electric bolt.
I'm so glad that I picked that transmuter stone back up because it gives me proficiency on con checks.
Great.
Well, all right. That's gonna be 16.
That's enough. The electricity courses through your body, but your transmuter stone absorbs it. He just puts his hands in the bucket of water, and the electricity travels up into the transmuter stone, which quickly, I guess it would, it somehow makes you resist.
Grounds it out or
discharges
discharges it, or yeah.
And then he says, "Okay, now pull it out and hold it up to the sky."
All right.
Give me one more Arcana check as you guys together chant the last words of the ritual.
22.
Yeah. You chant in time, and you can see that now that the water and the rest of the moon energy, which he pours it up at the top, is now starts to solidify. The rest of the moon energy actually, now that you've pulled it out, the splashes look like it's become like 2 wings on the side of the staff, and the top is like a floating moon that kind of spins, and the moon energy spins across it, he's pouring on it like it's being held up there by anti-gravity.
Whoa.
And it quickly, as it solidifies, shows to reflect the actual phase of the moon right now. And then the staff is actually still bleeding up at the top, and the blood comes down and gets all over your hands and arms, and is like constantly pouring down the staff.
Should it be bleeding like that?
He says, "I don't know." He motions for you to lower it carefully.
Okay. Next time, talk me through it before we do that.
That would have wasted time.
Vel like collapses against a table for a second, just like, ugh.
Darius touches the blood, and he tastes it quickly.
What are you doing?
And then he pulls out a small pinch of powder, and as his fingers, he flicks it on there, and it comes up like a greenish purple. And he says, "Oh, interesting. That's orc blood."
Oh. Orc blood?
Yes. Perhaps there was something wrong in the ritual when you hit the side of the bucket.
Yeah. Why orc? Vel kind of sits there and thinks about Osselvax for a second. He's like, how did he get this thing? What is this? Like, I have so many questions.
Well, this looks like a more suitable staff for an elf. Good symbol of Lunem up at the top. Will certainly allow you to move towards Victoria against the Devil Army.
Yeah. I guess this is mine.
Yes. Absolutely. It was your staff to begin with, and
Not to begin with, but yes.
It was your staff, and you are the one who brought the Moon Goddess back. I don't know if I've said this, but I'm very proud of you, Belle.
Thank you. You're the first person that's said that to me since all of this.
Well, you deserve it. You did something that none of the others working towards it could. Somehow.
Wow.
Perhaps by luck, perhaps because you were chosen, but no matter what it is, I think that if anyone deserves to wield the staff, it's you.
Thank you. This is a lot to take in, and I guess I need to see what this can do.
Yes. But first, I need to check out the basement.
Right. I need to check out the basement too.
Rasper turns to Christine. Christine, so, have you asked enough?
I'm content for now.
Great. And he sucker punches.
Lovely!
Sucker punches. And well, here, let's see. He goes in for the sucker punch.
No.
Ooh, that's a little
Things
low.
were going so well.
He's gonna try.
No.
You just get the plus 8.
So this devil's like smiling very patiently. He takes his teacup up to his lips as you guys are talking. Any more questions? No. Good. Rasper punches him in the face. What did you roll? What?
12. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna try again if that doesn't hit.
Oh no, that does.
Okay, great.
It definitely does.
And
Wait, 12 total or 12 on the die?
12 total.
Oh, okay.
But I've got another.
Yeah. So you go to punch him and like.
I hope it smashes right through the cup.
Yeah, it goes right through the cup, but the cup gives him like just enough time to like back away, so your fist is like inches from his face. You have another attack.
Yeah.
Great.
Another attack. That's better. 24.
Yeah, that hits.
Great. He smacks him in the face like with his other hand and like with a good right hook, and then tackles him.
Great.
He's gonna go
Is that to start a grapple?
to start a grapple. Or I guess he grapples him.
Okay. Oh, and I have to make a.
I'm proficient in athletics, so is that an 18? Oh my god. 26.
Yeah, you grapple him. He's actually. It looks like he gets his hands into a good defensive position, but as soon as you get your hands on him, you realize he's a weakling, and you just push him over the chair. The chair flips over, and you guys are on the
Great.
ground.
We're on the ground. Can I use an item by chance?
Yeah. What do you got?
Okay, great. Raspberry has already flipped the cork on the vial of syphilis powder.
Okay.
Oh my
months
god.
back. And he shoves the vial, glass and all, right into the guy's throat and crunches his jaw into it, shattering it into his mouth and holding his gloved hand over his face.
All right. So you see him kind of be like, and he starts
Remember
to.
that was like a dozen doses of syphilis.
Yeah, he starts to squirm, and you can see him trying to talk through the hand. He's like putting his hands up like this, like trying to say something.
Are you guys taking your...
Jasper, what are you doing? Take your hand out of his mouth.
He's got it in his mouth.
Yeah, it's in his mouth, and you can hear like the glass like moving around from the vial in there.
Rasper, I don't think he has much more time. I think you can I think he's
Are you
incapacitated.
talking normally?
Yes, I'm saying Rasper, get off of him. He's probably incapacitated now.
Rasper shouts back. You fool! That's 12 doses of syphilis powder. If he breathes any of that toward us. Are you still just sitting there?
Yeah, he actually looks like okay.
All right, Rasper.
Clarine, give me a knowledge arcana check.
What is that? Why do I keep rolling this dice? I'm lucky anyway.
What is
I
that?
have no idea. I'm lucky anyway because I don't just that
No.
roll. 13.
What? No.
Clarine, you know devils are
no
immune to poison.
idea. what
Rasper,
that
the
I never thought that would come up.
he's immune to the syphilis, Rasper.
What?
Get off of him now.
We need to, yeah. This is over.
You're going to let him live as Rasper's still on top of him.
I don't think.
Hand still over his mouth.
Rasper now.
Rasper pushes off of him and steps back.
He like spits out ash blood and chunks of glass and syphilis powder onto the floor. Oh, that does taste very disgusting. And it would have been a great plan if I wasn't immune to poison.
I apologize for his actions.
None at all. He kind of gets to his feet and he says, "So, are we good here?"
Don't go anywhere.
I will be here for another 24 hours, and then I will be heading out. We should be completely mobilized if it helps you in about a week's time.
Great.
Enjoy your time in Olengrad.
Okay.
And I will mine.
Long days and pleasant nights.
No, thank you. You as well. He gets up, his mouth like still like dripping with blood, staining his nice clothes, and he opens the door like showing you out.
Okay. As we're leaving, I'm using my Know Your Enemy ability. I assume we talked to him for more than a minute.
You did.
Is he my equal, superior, or inferior to me?
In what?
In
Power level.
in power level.
There's specific things you have to.
It just says my equal, superior, or inferior, and then I get to ask two of the following questions.
Yeah, which ones? Because it says like AC.
Right, but I get both of. I get equals.
Because I don't know. Like,
what is his armor class?
His armor class is inferior to yours.
Okay. And his total his current HP
Is also inferior to yours.
Okay.
What's your hit points?
56.
Yeah, inferior to yours.
Okay. Okay.
He's a weakling.
But he's
all
In his-
brains.
Yeah. In his current form.
Yes, in his current form. Great. Just so I understand this.
Yeah.
They're not all popping up in every place in Arrow. They're just popping up outside of Olengrad.
Correct.
Yes.
That's where they're
Okay.
saying.
That's what I was like trying to ask multiple times, and like, is that what he is saying? Like, what exactly? Okay. No. Okay.
They have coordinates, and the only reason they ended up in Merrington is because spells go awry.
Because those guys done goofed.
They dropped the ball. Probably literally. There's a ball involved, right? I don't know anything about spellcasting.
Val, you're back in the workshop.
Right.
Darius moves towards the very back, and you see him slide a bookshelf over to the side to reveal a secret door.
Okay.
And he pulls it open, and there's some stairs that are going down. You see a torch that is.
Does the staff generate light now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it does. Actually, you're. It should. Yes, the light's a cantrip now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it can cast light whenever you want.
Oh, sweet. It doesn't. It's not.
It lets out a little
okay.
bit of light like a torch.
Okay.
And he says, "Vel, grab that torch over there."
Okay.
And would you light it for me? As he opens up the thing and he climbs down.
No time like the present. I try to cast firebolt through the staff onto the.
Yeah, you can cast your spells through the staff.
Just testing it out. Like, magic.
It lights up.
So far, so good.
You head down into the basement. Darius is already there, and he says, "Would you please light that oil, and it will light up the room for us."
All right, take 2.
You see him kind of. Wait, the staff? Oh,
Yeah.
you're casting firebolt through the staff.
I'm really excited about this new staff. I'm using it for everything right now.
The oil lights up, and you can see it's sort of moving through the room. This is a system to sort of light the whole room.
Yeah.
And you can see that as the light comes on, you can start to see the room better.
Then my dark vision.
Yeah. This is magical darkness.
Oh, wow, okay.
Darius has it tried to be totally shielded. He doesn't want any light coming in. And the magical light is being pushed away as the little oil flames light up. And he says, "Excellent. Oh, good. They're all still here." And you can see as the oil gets lit up, there are these large 3-foot diameter tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a total of 12 tanks. And you can see floating in 11 of them a sleeping Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to end the session.
Thank God, because I don't want to have to react to that right now.
So this has been an interesting episode of Threshold because we actually shot the 2 halves of an episode because of scheduling reasons at 2 different times. Maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't. So questions, comments, concerns, we'll have to do it in 2 sections.
Jamie has enough complexes, man.
But Jamie doesn't know about this.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh.
So Bell has to decide whether or not he's going to tell Jamie.
Yeah. He does.
But Belle's right. I mean, Jamie is in some ways
if they're clones, as of the clone spell of Jamie, then if you die, you'll just wake up in a new body in one of those tanks.
Oh, that's neato.
You'll be naked and you won't have your paper mache armor or anything. But
I was kind of upset that you guys brought the clones up so early in the episode.
Arjun, that was a swing out of left field.
I know. Well, that's why I'm like, Jamie has meta powers. Brian has meta powers in real life. The blinds are starting to be blurred because you can see, I didn't just make this up. I have clone written here for scene 5. Eric and I were talking, and it was like, what if we just went to Darius' workshop and did a bunch of Jamie clones? And it was like, yeah, that's so. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but they're too good of a plot line to
we'll have to fight an army of evil Jamies at some point or something.
Or I think Pamela suggested there's a Jamie clone for each. No, that was Eric.
For
that was
each
Eric.
class.
Yeah, or for each of the 3, maybe Dika and Nara get their own warlock, their own Jamie.
Their own Jamie.
That actually looks and behaves like Jamie.
Darius starts selling Jamies to other.
Maybe that gets into big metaphysical narrative plot things that maybe they were destined to each have a Jamie, and Jamie has vast metaphysical significance.
Something.
So it was too fun not to do.
That's oh man.
Plus it's a great cliffhanger and a great way to end that episode.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the rest of the episode.
It was fun. I always like going to a new place and exploring.
Thank you for letting me have a little bit of agency with Esperbald.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really important because it should feel like home, and you guys should have at least as much input in building the world, especially things like Esperbald, where it's sort of insignificant. So it should feel like home to Jamie, and so it's easy to give you input to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that was Espervald was fun. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. I loved our interaction where it was like that old high school, like people you know from high school, like, hey, I know you, but I don't know you.
I rolled like a 10 on that check to see if I knew his name.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah. So,
yeah. So like, I think it's Kyle.
Is it something?
That was hilarious.
Carl. That was fun. We got you.
Jamie's not actually married to Anastasia.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, okay.
We know.
Yeah.
But he wants to be.
He does want to be. Absolutely.
He wants to be.
The Dune.
Requires attunement by
Yeah.
for half.
You're gonna wanna read that. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
No, I had a lot
We
of
can
fun.
talk about that afterwards.
It's constantly bleeding.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna be inconvenient. All right.
Or horribly convenient.
Ooh, +1 armor class.
Yeah.
Save it.
We had a lot of fun.
Whoa.
It was a good time.
I should have given you this after the session, Kevin, so you won't be distracted.
Sorry, I'm sure everybody will hear what this. There's a lot, and there's a picture.
When you start blowing up devils with it, I'm sure they'll know plenty about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has many. You'll kind of see why.
There's
There's several reasons.
Is this some sort of commentary on our play styles that you give Kevin this staff and I have to get a special kind of armor?
No, I wanted to play with the plot armor, like the idea of plot armor, and I thought, what a better way to sort of play with that meta trope than to like actually give you plot armor.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's again the whole fun of meta and giving you meta powers is like that. There's people who understand that it's a game giving you powers and like who understand that there's tropes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's plot armor, and plus you like went down. So you went down several times. So I was like, okay, I gotta give him something. And then plus I'm trying to even out all the magic items. I gotta get something Clarion's way, but I'm like gonna make it a good one. I might wait if we go to Murray with Clarion. I might wait and then give him a bunch of shit when he gets there.
Like gets to his house and he says all the
Themed crap and.
Yeah.
So does this emanate moonlight then?
Yes.
So
Yeah, it's got like a glowing moon orb at the top of it.
Yes.
So we'll have to be careful with that.
Sneaking's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I imagine you could douse
You
it.
probably extinguish it, but yeah. If you said it could just cast a light cantrip at will, then it's probably just like you probably cancel the light cantrip.
Yeah, it's good. We'll see if I have to. That's sort of my my stand-in for the Staff of Power.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if I need to take it away. But
Okay.
at least I'm trying to give you guys as much firepower as possible going into the crossover. Because I don't want you guys to die.
Yeah.
But we're fighting all the bad guys that we fought before.
At once.
At once.
Plus Faye. No Faye? Maybe.
We'll see. I honestly don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go.
All right.
It all is gonna depend on what the choices you guys make are. I'm just setting up the dominoes, and next time we're gonna watch them fall.
Yeah.
I kind of want Jim to die now and then wake up Matrix style, like in a tube.
Yeah. Like I said, the possibilities are endless. How did you feel about the staff?
It was fun. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, like I haven't rolled half of those freaking skills since we've been playing. Like that's the first history check I've ever made, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I have proficiency in history too. But,
we gotta have you make more history checks.
Yeah. I need to start finding reasons to roll history checks too. Like I'm sure I could be coming up with those as well. But
yeah, definitely. Or if you want to make a history check and then if you pass, you can just make up some details.
Sure. Fate style.
Yeah.
I was glad to make that deception check at the door. That didn't work.
Oh.
But I rolled really high on it. So.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, but it's meta. He knows.
Yeah. So
I know you just rolled a 19.
That's what I should have said. If I could see the dice better, that's what I should have said. I know you just rolled a 19, Jamie. Let me in the door. That was kind of an info dump, not super interesting.
Oh,
But-
yeah, 4 post-it notes full of.
Yes, the information was definitely useful.
I wanted to trap the guy.
I was so.
I thought you had the immovable rod. I thought you were pulling that out and just freaking
I don't
pointing
know.
it.
No. Bell has the move rod. I had it.
I almost gave you the Stifilus powder, even though they're immune to poison, because that would have been so awesome.
I did not know that.
But yeah, and that's something Rasper wouldn't have known. I wanted you to. He's not strong. I wanted you to just punch him, like just punch him back to hell. Because I would have let you do that. He only has like 50 hit points.
Well,
okay.
yeah, I
What
was
does it see?
13.
Oh, okay.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
he's-
that if you couldn't, if you just revive in hell, the syphilis powder might trap his soul at least for a few days. Because if you
Well,
we can
plus
hold him
all the
prisoner.
paperwork and.
yeah,
We can hold him prisoner on this plane. If that's what we
Yeah,
want
that's
to
true,
do.
too.
That is
yeah,
true.
it still makes a lot of sense to hold him
But
prisoner.
I think that's maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's not for us to decide because we are in Olengrad and Christine,
that
it's a
and-
name only, like Gregory said.
yeah,
That
I mean
we
that's
gotta get the information. We have to get the other information. 'Cause
Right.
I definitely
Yeah.
don't want to side with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's no.
Although
he's-
the moving the teleportation thing is cool.
But now he knows. Now he knows. Rasper was gonna kill him, and you stopped. He was gonna punch his face
They
through.
wouldn't kill him. He would just go back and then explain everything anyway. But Rasper wouldn't know that. Maybe not.
No, he explained that, but that's okay with Rasper. He just wanted to kill a guy.
Yeah. Just
Even if he revives, it still probably hurts a lot.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. He did have to spit glass shards out of his mouth. He got that discomfort for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't even want to side with the devils. I want to unleash the Fae. Just because of where Clarion stands ideologically.
Unleash the Fae. on the chaos side of the let him out.
We don't need to control them. We need to unleash them.
Oh man, I'm so happy that this I know the session was a little boring, but once the season is done, this will be like a just freaking massively important
Yeah.
session.
Yeah.
Because again, like so many things were touched on, and like the trajectory is there.
Well, I hope.
And things I was nervous about.
So did
I hope that, and I don't quite see it, I hope they get as much information as we get, which could be a party tension point, is like, we got a lot of information. If they just show up and it's like, yeah, it's just some elf, it's whatever. And we're like, fuck you, dude!
They're gonna get something like equally killer. It's not information. Thanks everyone for watching Threshold. This has been an interesting session. It's gonna only get more interesting next week when we cross over with Threshold Moonlight, so make sure you're caught up with those guys. Additionally, we'll also be using some plot elements from the Cold Iron Wars campaign. I don't think they're even close to being caught up where we are with their videos. But go ahead and feel free to give them a listen. We have a bunch of new campaigns. We have a subreddit where campaigns are being started every day. There's at least today, there's one that's starting to spin up. So that's pretty exciting. And special thanks to Strawberry and to the Studio LT3 guys for helping us get that whole thing running. And thank you guys for the awesome community who follows us on Twitter, and you should become a part of that group who follows us on Twitter. And tweet us. We'd like to hear from you. So leave a comment, subscribe, like our video, and we will see you next week for the Threshold crossover.